Hey, Jim. I was wondering...
Let me guess. Customer service is your next stop on your What's New with ServiceNow mission.
Whoa, you customer service folks really can read people's minds.
Before ServiceNow, our customers couldn't solve issues on their own. Had to call us every time. Calls piling up while my team's tied up on open cases, chats pending, case notes to write, emails to respond to.
Okay, your to-do list is like stressing me out.
Just relax. Breathe.
Okay.
Breathe. That was then. This is ServiceNow. Yeah, it enables us to unify our data with our workflows and brings it all together with AI all on a single platform. Check this out. AI agents use natural people speak to help customers take action on their own. Not cutesy voice chatbots that waste your time with generic help articles. We're talking out-of-the-box AI agents that solve cases autonomously.
Okay. What if your people need to step in?
Oh, you mean the old data chase across 6 different systems and who knows how many departments?
Yeah.
Well, ServiceNow gives my team a single, unified workspace. Everything needed to work with customers in one view. AI agents handle the time-sucking tasks. My team can now focus on person-to-person customer relationships. So when the sales team closes a deal, my team makes sure it stays closed.
And those customer relationships drive repeat business.
Exactly. Boom! Resolution in no time, without any swivel chair gymnastics.
Please don't bring up swivel chairing. I've broken like 8 swivel chairs.
Let's not go there.
You get mad. Okay, that's really slick, but what if your use case isn't out of the box?
Funny you should ask. I built my own custom AI agents with ServiceNow's no-code AI Agent Studio, like this one. It proactively watches for customers who may experience issues before and after purchase. Researching previous cases, my AI agent offers alternatives if lookalike customers have similar issues. They reduce all that sell, close, churn, ping-ponging.
Oh, I gotta work on my backhand for the company-wide ping pong tournament.
Focus?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you got custom agents, you've got out-of-the-box agents and third-party agents, and coordinating them all is like herding cats?
No, but watch this. AI agents work together as teams across departments. Guided by the AI agent orchestrator, they can stay in sync, escalate if needed, and achieve results no single agent could on their own. Case volumes are down and our CSAT is up because the team's focused on people, not repetitive tasks.
Cool. CSAT. Wait, we have a satellite too?
Sure. CSAT orbits happy customers. Yeah, but seriously, we're getting ahead of our customer needs. We don't wait to be helpful, we plan to be. Customer service meets customer relationship management. Now that's what I call CRM built for the AI era.
Oh, I cannot wait to tell my mom that we have a satellite.
Ah.
Oh, yeah. Do you know where my office is? Okay, that's fine.
Hi, everyone. I'm glad to be back with all of you once again. And for those of you joining us for the first time, by the way, my name is Ella, and I'll be your host for today's powerful session, the CRM AI Summit Transform Customer Experiences in the AI Era. And we are on day 3 of our 3-day summit. And before we get started, I just want to see a quick raise of hands. Who here was with me on day 1? Can I see some hearts if you are with me on day 1? Let's see those heart emojis. Okay, I see a lot of heart emojis. Hi, I'm so glad that you are back. Who here is with me on day 2? Can I get a thumbs up for those who attended day 2? Thumbs up for those who attended day 2. All right, I see those thumbs up. I see those hearts. And who are joining us for the first time? Can I see a raise of hands? Raise of hands? For the first time joiners, can I see? Okay, I see those hands raised. Once again, I am so happy to welcome you all to our webinar. And last week, we got an in-depth look at the latest product innovations for customer service management and field service management. Today, we're going to uncover exactly how front office automation is driving measurable ROI by streamlining customer interactions and creating a seamless, unified service experience. Plus, you'll hear how Cyber CX successfully reimagined their engagement, sales, and support using an industry-tailored AI-powered platform. Let's look at our agenda for today. So right now we are having our introduction, and then we will be having our first keynote, the front office automation revolution, and then later we will be having a panel discussion, Cyber CX, transforming service delivery and customer support. And of course, To kick off our packed program, I am very delighted to introduce today's expert speakers. First up, we have Cameron Adams, Senior Manager Solution Consulting, CRM and Industry Workflows at ServiceNow, and Joshua Jeffries, Senior Solutions Consultant at Genesys. They will guide us through the front office automation revolution. Following that, join us for a powerful fireside chat with James Burgess, Director Solution Sales, CRM and Industry Workflows, and of course, James Wynn, Executive Director, MSS Practice, Governance, and Cyber CX as they discuss transforming service delivery and customer support. So, we've got a full and exciting agenda ahead of us. So, let us get right into it. But before we start, just a quick reminder for all of you, you will be seeing handouts pop up on your screen. So feel free to download these resources anytime during the session. And if at any point during this webinar a question comes into your mind, don't hesitate to use the chat box here on the right side of your screen and drop your questions below. And a ServiceNow representative will be answering those questions. So let's get started. Cameron and Joshua, take it away.
Hi, my name's Cam Adams, and I am so excited about the state of the customer experience industry and the contact center industry. It's an industry that I've been around for about the last 2 decades. And right now, the pace of change in this industry is incredible. The opportunities that exist to drive efficiency, to drive much better customer experiences are off the charts. And I've only been at ServiceNow for about 2 months, but the reason why I've joined the organization is because I'm so excited about the potential to drive automation all the way through customer experiences to deliver much better outcomes for us as consumers. And so today, I'm joined here by Josh from Genesys. Together, we're going to share the combined story of a system of engagement, connecting with customers on the channels that they want to interact on, and a system of action and outcomes, which is ServiceNow delivering automation and fulfillment throughout the entire enterprise. I want to tell you a little bit more about this change in the industry and the technology evolution that's occurring at the moment. Unless you've been living under a rock, you've noticed that a lot more conversations can be automated than used to be possible. Generative AI has kind of unlocked the imagination of people around conversation with technology, and it's creating all sorts of amazing possibilities. I mean, I'm trying to learn Japanese at the moment. It turns out it's pretty hard, but you can see on the left there, I can have a natural conversation with generative AI, putting myself in a real life situation where I need to kind of fend for myself in the language. And then when I'm done, the system can give me feedback about how well I express myself, how I could have done better, and it can really help me improve. I also have conversations when I'm trying to get things fixed or trying to figure out what I should buy. My dryer needed an attachment recently, and so I took a snapshot of it and asked about where I could get that attachment, and sure enough, I got the information I needed. We're all about to experience something really interesting in terms of new automated conversations. Google announced maybe a month or 2 ago that they're bringing a conversational interface to shopping so that you can describe what you need and find options to buy from websites all around the place, just like you can today. But then through the course of that conversation, the virtual agent can actually go and buy those things for you on behalf of you. And so we're seeing this really interesting evolution in our consumer lives, in our personal lives of how we're conversing with technology. And the opportunity is not lost on organizations around the region. Indeed, globally, analysts looking at the market can see that there is an expectation of considerable improvement in productivity in customer service and customer engagement associated with this new technology. Forrester, for example, even just in the next 3 years, expects to see a 14% productivity uplift. Looking a little bit further down the track, Gartner is expecting that by 2029, 4 out of every 5 conversations with servers are going to be automated. And then McKinsey, who has looked at a longer time horizon, has identified customer operations as an area of the business that stands to gain the greatest proportional savings out of any functional area in the business, expecting that generative AI will deliver reductions in cost of 38% over what's happening today, again, predominantly through increased automation of conversations. So there's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of interest, there's a lot of investment around automating more and more conversations. There has been technology to do this for quite some time, right? We've all, unfortunately, had to deal with chatbots that don't necessarily understand us. And what that's meant is that I think we formed a mindset in business that certain conversations, simple ones, could and should be automated. Longer, more complex ones probably don't lend themselves to being automated. And so we have this kind of mindset around simple and complex kind of conversations to tackle. But certain conversations should never be automated. Here are just a few examples over the last few years of where some conversations were held through technology, and frankly, it was disastrous. And when I was younger, breaking up via text message was seen as something that was pretty faux pas. It's something that you really wouldn't do. These days, I think, we've moved on and it's not so common, but imagine being dumped by text with text that your ex-partner didn't even write themselves. Apparently, this is happening more and more. There was even a situation sort of 5 or 6 years back where some very bad medical news was delivered to a patient by a video screen on wheels, a robot doctor, and the patient themselves and their family were kind of horrified. A lot of people are turning to chatbots for therapy. It's an interesting phenomenon, and it's debatable maybe how much increased access to ability to talk is something that's healthy for us. But there are absolutely situations where it is not appropriate to engage a chatbot in therapy, and there are situations where it has really gone astray. And I think there's a lot of soul searching going on at the moment. And of course, Amazon workers being fired by bots, kind of fills out the picture. What are the things that are in common about these kind of obviously unsuitable automated conversations? To me, I think it's about a betrayal in human connection. It's about neglect of human relationships. Technology is not appropriate to use in an automated conversation in those moments where the stakes are high, where emotions run high, where genuine empathy and human connection are required. So this, I think, is one of 2 major mindset shifts that we probably all need to make in the conversational automation industry. The first mindset shift is stop thinking about whether something's simple or complicated to automate it. As we've seen, there aren't really conversations that are too complex to automate these days. What it's all about is whether a conversation is transactional, the stakes are not so high, it's just about getting the job done, or whether they're relational, the stakes are high, there's human connection involved. We need a human touch, a personal connection. And probably Gartner's right, maybe 80% or so of the interactions that are had with customer service will be transactional and appropriate to automate. But we've got to be careful about those 20%, how we pick them, and realize that there is actually still an opportunity to drive automation into those human conversations. So that's the second mindset shift that I kind of wanted to offer. Whether a conversation is being held by a machine or whether it's being held from one person to another, There is an opportunity to collect all of the required context, all of the required information and knowledge together and bring that into the conversation to make it much more effective in that moment. And indeed, when we think about customer service, people get in touch even when the stakes are high because they need something done. They need an outcome. So the final third very important pillar of automation that can come into any of these conversations is the delivery of end-to-end workflows throughout an entire organization in order to get the job done. What do I mean by that? Well, what I find when I'm talking to a lot of organizations around the region at the moment is that as they push further and further into conversational self-service, they find the biggest part of their struggle is in delivering outcomes. The reason is because that for many inquiry types, for many customer needs, actually what's required is some coordination of automated activity with systems, but also delivery of work to middle and back office teams, sometimes to field services teams. And unless all of that activity is orchestrated and connected together, the outcome isn't delivered in a timely way, and it certainly may not be delivered in an effective way. This is increasingly the biggest struggle in driving efficiency in customer experience. And this is where ServiceNow offers a considerable improvement and a considerable contribution. ServiceNow brings into every conversation, whether it's an automated one with a bot or one between people, the full customer context, enterprise-wide knowledge, so bringing together all of the information that supports that conversation, and seamless connection through workflows to all of the parts of the organization that are involved in delivering the outcome, the systems, the people, and the processes that connect all of them together in a totally orchestrated way. There are so many great stories where ServiceNow has been able to deliver massive improvements in the efficiency and effectiveness of service. One of the case studies that I first came across when I joined the organization was one at BT, who had been experiencing around a 4.7 hour average time to case resolution. And when they had implemented AI Ops in their technology management, they reduced that to around a minute. There was another story from a local government in New Zealand. They need to pull together these things called land information memoranda, right? And it's kind of this collection of building plans and development conditions and various other bits of information that are relevant to a sale of part of a piece of land. And it used to take teams around a week to pull together all of the information required to put that LIM together. With automation and orchestration, that was reduced down to a minute. These sorts of order of magnitude improvements are almost unbelievable, but when you dig around in the way that we've been able to transform service, there are more and more stories like it. And the last one is probably one of my favorites, and that's at Lloyds Bank in the UK. They overhauled their payments process specifically around payments going missing. So transfers from customer bank accounts going astray and having to be hunted down within the bank. They implemented something within 12 weeks and went from a process that used to take 7 days to finding customers missing funds on an average of 36 seconds. I mean, think about what this means for customers and their experiences. Imagine that you have had a large sum of money go missing and you call up a contact center at the bank, you speak with a banker, and maybe that banker is fantastic. They're very empathetic, they're totally on top of the process, and they say to you, I'm so sorry that's happened to you. It must be such a big worry for you. Don't worry, we will sort it out for you. I've logged a case and it's going to be around 7 days. We'll get back to you. It's just not really good enough. Reducing the time from 7 days to 36 seconds is not just an incredible improvement in efficiency and effectiveness for the organization, but also delivers much better customer outcomes when that outcome can be delivered in the moment when the stakes are high. Now, those outcomes that I keep talking about need to be delivered to customers through a conversation, through an engagement of some sort. And it's here that our CCaaS partners, like Genesys, make a major contribution, because Genesys is a system of engagement that enables customers to be connected, to proactively can get the right resource connected to a customer when they get in touch digitally, or if they pick up the phone, can make sure that virtual agents are used in the right circumstances and humans are deployed when relationships are at stake. And to explore this a little bit further, I'd like to welcome my friend and colleague from Genesys, Josh Jeffries. We're going to talk a little bit about what does it mean to connect a system of action and outcomes like ServiceNow with a platform that orchestrates experiences like Genesys Cloud. So what is experience orchestration all about? I mean, I mentioned proactive, reactive. How does it all come together?
So essentially, experience orchestration is trying to get into every single customer touch point and then orchestrate that experience for them. So whether they've been in the app, on the website, have they made a recent action in an app? And then trying to figure out what the best thing to do with that particular engagement is. So is it, prefacing with a virtual agent, trying to find out more information? Do we need to get more information from somewhere else in the ServiceNow ecosystem? And then do we actually want to, and like you said earlier on in the conversation, it's got some emotional attachment. Do we actually want to just forget all of the AI and put them straight through to a human agent?
Right, because maybe the stakes are high. So it's about taking that aggregated data from ServiceNow and also many of the signals you're collecting as well, and making the right decision about how to progress that customer along their journey. Is that right?
Yes, not just progress them, but give them the best customer experience possible. So we actually want to try and make every engagement with them a positive one, and the customer is always going to remember that positive experience. And the best way we can assist with that is by having access to the information within systems like ServiceNow.
Fantastic. And the platforms are so complementary to each other. And so I wanted to spend just a moment to kind of unpack who does what normally in this partnership and how does that all come together. So ServiceNow provides a platform that brings together that complete customer context. Like I was saying before, it is in its own right a CRM platform and keeps track of the many kinds of engagements and interactions that are had with customers. But at the same time, through Workflow Data Fabric, it's able to aggregate data from other CRMs, core systems, and bring together all of the context that's required to deliver an outstanding conversation in the moment. And then, if the conversation does need to progress to a human agent, we provide a modernized agent workspace where agents can handle interactions, whether they be phone calls or digital messaging or social media, in one place. But the way that those interactions get to that desktop or are delivered to the virtual agent is through the routing orchestration engine provided in Genesys Cloud. So of course, Genesys provides a range of channels, and particularly the voice channel, which is not provided by ServiceNow. We can mix and match the channels from ServiceNow if there's a reason to do that. But most importantly, whether it's a digital interaction, a phone call, or even a case or some piece of work to do, the Genesys Cloud experience orchestration engine can consider how to route that piece of work or that interaction to the best person to enable great engagement in the moment. And by the way, when the engagements are complete, the platform's able to analyze those interactions, to understand trends within the data, to identify automation opportunities, and to provide for continuous improvement in the people who work in the contact center. So we spoke a little bit about that payments process example earlier, and Josh and I thought that it would be great to bring that to life for you a little bit by illustrating kind of a bit of a customer journey. We think that this is what responsible, respectful, outcome-oriented automation looks like. Josh?
Yeah, so I think we've chosen, quite a good sort of customer journey, something that's very common across, the entire globe, not just in our region in APAC. And essentially, it's going to be Julie who's purchasing a motorbike from her friend Matt. So she's in the app, she's banking, and she's trying to get the outcome as fast as possible. And she goes in and transfers. When she transfers, she actually notices a glitch, and the app disappears and goes back into the home screen. And once that happens, she reloads the app frantically. She sees the money that has gone, but unfortunately, Matt hasn't received that money within his account. Now, this becomes concerning, especially because she's transferred to Matt multiple times, and every time that she has transferred, it's been completely instant. So, they go away, they think it's a large amount of money. Potentially there's something in, some checks that it has to go through to be able to transfer through to Matt. So after 20 minutes, she decides that she's going to reach out. So Julie reaches out on her channel of choice, which happens to be SMS. Now, what's interesting about this is because it's a channel that we support, we can use all of our experience orchestration tools and logic across every single channel. So in this case, we're going to be able to pull the entire customer context from a platform like ServiceNow, where we can see who they are, what their most recent transactions are, their open accounts, balances, all of that contextual information to try and determine the intent. In this case, we can see that in less than an hour ago, there's actually been a transaction, and we can essentially assume that that's what the inquiry is going to be about. So we use Jeeves, a virtual agent, to actually ask them, "Hey, Julie, is this what you're trying to reach out to us about?" And in this case, Julie says, "Yes, it is. Can you please help me?" Now, going back to your comment around the emotions in every single interaction, in this case, we're not going to try and use a virtual agent to complete this interaction. We're going to orchestrate the experience and push them straight through to a live agent. Now, when we push them through to the live agent, we can use our other experience orchestration tools within the Genesis suite, such as predictive routing, to find who is going to be poised best to actually deal with that inquiry and get it handled in the most effective and efficient manner possible. So when that interaction actually comes through to a human agent, we want to provide that human agent with as much contextual information as possible. So who the person is that's calling through, what the intent is, so we can see at the top of the screen there, it's a missing funds inquiry, and that's going to help us to trigger, additional ServiceNow flows that are running in the background trying to figure out what's happened with this, so that the agent's going to be assisted in real time with, where that fund is, what the issue was, what the glitch might be. We can also see who the customer is and all of that information about the customer of any other previous interactions that have come through to the contact center, whether that's a web visit or an app activity or an email case, whatever that interaction is within the contact center, we're going to present that to the agent in real time. That's very important to do that because it means that the agent's going to have a 360-degree view of the customer, no matter where they are in their journey. If we take a look at the zoomed in box, we can also see a Copilot that's running in real time. And what that's doing, that's going to present knowledge and information as that call's happening. So this is where we're going to get that, that dynamic knowledge that's being popped. So if there's an inquiry that comes through and we think that we can assist the agent, we're going to present that in real time. So if we take a look at how that might look from Julie's lens, we can actually see that from her perspective, it's a completely natural conversation. She doesn't know that Thomas on the other side of this interaction is having all of this assisted, all this technology that's going to assist them. All they see is a really seamless customer experience, and they're getting the outcome that they want. They're getting conversational responses in a timely fashion, and the information is also accurate, aided by the Copilot and knowledge surfacing. And because Thomas is supported with all the information he needs, this means that as that conversation is progressing and we are determining what needs to happen within this experience, we're triggering workflows in the background. We're suggesting different prompts. We need to get this form. We need to start an investigation. And then once that investigation started, we can then run all the, the subsequent workflows across the ServiceNow platform in order to try and get that outcome for Julie.
Absolutely. And this is that moment where, in the Lloyd's Bank example, Thomas could be telling Julie, sit tight, we'll have this sort of for you in 7 days. But in this case, it's going to be a much better experience. So as the Copilot suggests that a misrouted funds investigation needs to be kicked off, another case is created into the back office effectively. Now, this is a bit of an unusual case. This is not being delivered to a person to work. Actually, it's being delivered to an AI agent that's going to collate all of the data associated with the transaction, the OSCO logs from core banking, application logs from the web platform, and correlate the information that's gathered from that process to get to an understanding of what might have gone wrong in the transfer. And as the investigation progresses in a totally automated way, supervisors looking at the case could see the progress that Now Assist is making in bringing all of that data together ultimately, it determines that the funds have landed in something called a reconciliation suspense account, which is kind of like the dead letter office for funds transfers at a bank. And when funds end up there, Treasury can get them to where they need to go. And so effectively what happens is the AI agent creates a notification to Treasury Ops that the funds that are located in that reconciliation suspense account need to be returned to the original account. And all of this takes place within seconds, not even minutes. In this case, we could correlate the data from the original transfer attempt and make an assessment that the claim could be processed straight through with no human intervention at all. However, this bank is not quite where they want to be on their journey of kind of complete straight through agentic processing, and they'd like still to have a human in the loop. Many organizations are in that boat. And so while all of the information is gathered together, a confidence score is prepared for the outcome, a notification is still sent to Treasury Ops so that they can assess the accuracy of the information, the accuracy of the process that brought together the conclusion, and then release the funds if appropriate. And so indeed, in this case, they approve the release of the funds, and within just a few minutes, they're back with Julie.
So you can see, what an experience orchestration could look like in the new world where we're using tools that make sense where they make sense, and AI where it makes sense as well. So using the combined technology from Genesys Cloud and ServiceNow, we've been able to orchestrate the entire experience from end to end using the technology where it makes sense. So whether we've used a virtual agent, whether we've used agentic workflows, or we've actually put them through to a human agent, and Julie's got the resolution she was looking for extremely, extremely fast.
Indeed, it was, just 4 minutes if you notice the time change on the clock there on the phone. So, and I suspect that most of that time was getting that human in the loop approval. So yeah, it really is a powerful combined experience when you can orchestrate the journeys and bring the right data together, the right workflows to deliver an outcome in a record time, effectively. And so I would encourage all of you to think about how can we begin this journey of automation and orchestration in your environments. Genesys Cloud as a platform has the capability to mine into interactions that have been recorded over time and uncover opportunities to drive automation in your enterprise. And ServiceNow, as you've seen through the illustration today, has the capability to really deliver that automation and orchestration end to end within your enterprise. And so using these two tools together is a great match. And it's also an incredibly useful supporting technology at the core of a center of excellence. So you could pick up these tools today, work through a cycle of identifying automation opportunities and delivering those, bearing in mind whether or not a virtual agent should be having that conversation because it's more transactional, or whether maybe a human would be better suited to having that conversation because the stakes are high. But in either case, we can deliver these order of magnitude improvements in the speed to outcome and the efficiency within the organization. So I'd encourage you to look into those automation opportunities within your organization. And I'd like to thank you for spending time with us today. It's been a great partnership that we've been investing in over the last few months, and I can't wait to see where it takes us. And I can't wait to see the possibilities that it unlocks for you and your organizations to deliver more efficient, more effective service.
Good morning, everybody. You have the pleasure of James Squared here today. I'll start by introducing myself, James Burgess. I lead the CRM and industry workflow solution sales team here at ServiceNow across Australia and New Zealand. And I will hand over to my partner in crime, James Wynn, to introduce himself and tell us a little bit about CyberCX.
Yeah, hi James, and hello everyone. Thank you for inviting me along to the webinar today. Yes, James Squared, definitely. And so I'm one of our executive directors from CyberCX. I look after our managed security services business, but I'm also have the luxury of also being the business owner of our ServiceNow environment, which we call CCX Engage. CyberCX is a pure play cybersecurity organization. We are made up of multiple acquisitions over the past 5 years, 24 in total. We are spanning across Australia, New Zealand, the UK, and the US. And we're teaching about 1,500 employees within the organization at the moment, with some future aspirations for growth. Yeah, as a cybersecurity organization, we are and also as a pure play, we full spectrum. So whether that be from digital forensics and incident response, strategy and consulting, traditional professional services like security testing and assurance, through to managed services. So whether that be SOC SIEM, security control infrastructure, identity and access management, and cloud security. So yeah, so it's been a great journey as we've built the organization over the last 6 years now.
Awesome. I remember the first time that you walked me through the wheel of CyberCX and all the different services that you provide, and yeah, there's a lot to it, right? And there's when you say pure play and breadth of solution in your space, like you really cover it across the board, which is awesome.
Yeah.
You've been a customer for a while now, right? And obviously today's all about talking about our CRM customer service industry capabilities. But what was the thing that led you to ServiceNow? What were the pain points that said, hey, we got to go and look for a new solution to help with the services that we're delivering in market?
Look, primarily, and as I mentioned just previously, we're an organization of acquisitions, and whilst through acquisitions, we're not an umbrella organization with multiple companies sitting underneath it. But however, when we acquired our original 14 organizations, every company came with their own tool sets. So we had 8 different ticketing systems. I wouldn't exactly have gone as far as saying the ITSM platforms, but ticketing systems of one shape or another, multiple monitoring and observability tools. So the ecosystem was dispersed, it was not integrated. And so managing of customer outcomes was quite difficult. We set on a journey to, I guess, do our initial drive of efficiency and bringing the companies together, but also the services together. And there was a sort of a logical choice for us in partnering with ServiceNow, reputation in market, ability to consolidate and drive, I guess, operational efficiencies, and has been tried and true. But also, I guess, the experience working in a managed services or an outsourced services organization, for want of a better word. ServiceNow is, I guess, known in the industry, and most organizations utilize ServiceNow where we're working with them. So commonality of tools between ourselves and our customers was also paramount. So that led us to the journey that we've been embarking on for the last 4 years now with yourselves at ServiceNow.
Awesome. And I mean, there's obviously many tech providers out there, and I'm going to grab onto the ecosystem word that you shared in your last answer around. Yeah, there's obviously an ecosystem that exists not only within the ServiceNow ecosystem, but a lot of the customers that you have that are also ServiceNow customers. What was the thing that supported in the selection to go down the ServiceNow path from a technology provider standpoint?
Yeah, I think it was the integration fabric that existed within the ServiceNow platform. I guess when we started the journey 4 years ago, there was still like, you've got your app store, so there's native plugins and spokes as they're called in the ServiceNow world. So we were able to, I guess, the speed and agility to be able to do so, and to be able to deploy integrations with our other core applications. As you mentioned, it's an ecosystem. There are right tools for the job, and ServiceNow is the center of our ecosystem when it comes to services and service outcomes, service management, customer service management, and interaction. But we do have a disparate set of applications around that. We are a Salesforce shop as well. Currently, we've got our observability tools, which we've got multiples of them, whether that be logic monitors or Datadogs, Azure monitors, and so on and so forth. I think the extensibility of the ServiceNow platform to be able to bring all of that together, and to be able to be the point of truth when it came to alarming, triage, is one of the most important things for us as a services organization, to be able to measure success and our customer experience all within a single platform, but to be able to bring data sources in from around our application ecosystem, but also integrate that back into our customers' environments as well. Yeah.
Well, yeah, one of the things that I talk a lot about with customers at the moment is obviously CRM for the AI era, if you will, right? And I think a lot of the philosophy that comes from that is anchored in a lot of the stuff that Colin Fleming, our Chief Marketing Officer, spoke about at World Forum, which is we're moving into the world where sort of customers, frankly, are sort of getting harder and harder to keep, right? Like there's increased expectation, there's reduced patience in poor outcomes, and service is almost becoming that anchor tenant for how and fundamentally is the most important thing when it comes to how you keep and how you grow your customer base. I mean, AI off to the side for a moment. You spoke about ServiceNow being sort of at the epicenter of the business. Like, can you explain that a little bit more in terms of like the role that it plays in the context of the broader solution suite that you have?
Yeah, so I guess when we look at our our current CRM platform, our professional services automation, where we're doing short-term project engagements, we went down the Salesforce path, but it doesn't do services, right? It can manage a Gantt chart, we can invoice, we can manage opportunities from a sales process through to a transaction, and all of our finances in the back end. But when we take that managed service from a statement of work or a contract, and we actually have to manage on or deliver on those contractual obligations, we need to be able to do entitlements management. We need to be able to do contract management, and every contract has service levels sitting inside it. And I guess that is where, and the reason why ServiceNow is so important to us is because it provides all of those functions. And it does so being able to do data share as well. So we are ingesting data from our other systems into ServiceNow with regards to accounts and contracts, engagements, and from there we build on that from what's actually happening from an entitles records management. We talk about our CMDB of all the assets and services, whether they be service assets or whether they be physical infrastructure assets or whatnot. That all sits within the ServiceNow environment. But it is, as I mentioned, it's extensible. So we're actually taking data back out of the ServiceNow environment and bringing that into our other systems to be able to enrich the data sets there. Not every user has access with 1,500. We're only sitting about nearly 400 users with fulfiller license sitting inside the ServiceNow environment. So we need to be able to extract data and be able to enrich sources of information and data points that the other parts of the business rely on, whether that be volume metrics or whatnot. So I think that's from a center of the ecosystem perspective. There are two environments which I would say are Center and Premier. That is our Salesforce CRM or Salesforce.com platform and ServiceNow. Yeah.
So one of the things I often hear in discussing ServiceNow with customers is that there can be a bit of a misconception around time to implement and how quickly you can get access to value. I'd love to sort of hear, I mean, you've had a couple of different journeys and projects that you've run with ServiceNow over the last 4 years. I'd love to get your perspective, right? Share a little bit about like how long did you take to roll it out initially? Equally, there's been some broader programs that we've just sort of embarked on recently.
Yeah.
How would you sort of articulate that to the people here today?
Yeah, look, I think it's all based on the preparation you do for any application deployment. Right? So if you're really starting from with the basement and you're developing, processes and workflows and defining that as you are deploying a piece of technology, it is going to take you longer. The important piece is to come prepared. We embarked on the journey in February and we were live by July. Right, and so for us that was a pretty aggressive timeline to be able to hit. But we also had 50 customers sitting behind it waiting to come onto the platform. Right, so we had an operational issue that was actually costing us more than time. And so, but we did spend a lot of time up front before we actually went to market in defining, our ITIL processes. So it was just a matter of then us being able to translate into workflow within the environment to have a base MVP, if you wish, environment ready to go. And we did launch with an MVP. What we have to remember at these platforms is there is no finish. Perfection is the thing you strive for but never achieve. And so we will continue to evolve as our customers evolve. You mentioned the pressures in the market. Everything's becoming do more with less, and we will need to have our environment and our solutions and application stacks evolve with it. We parked AI for a moment, but that is the next piece, right? Of being able to do more with less, right? Or more with the same. It's not with less, it's the same. AI is not here to replace roles. It's not here to replace jobs. It's to be able to make us more efficient and to be able to move us up the value tree. But going to that back to your point around misconception, it takes a long time. It doesn't have to. It comes down to what is good enough to begin. And taking that, it really is a journey, and it will never end. You can't build this environment and sit on it because you will fall behind. You have to stay current, and you should be. It's such an extensible platform. You can do so much with it. Evangelizing the capability, investing in maybe maximizing your return on the investment that you make in the ServiceNow environment is equally as important as making a decision in the first place. So yeah.
So I mean, 6 months to do a delivery is like, considering of the scale that you spoke about with 50 odd customers that you're seeking to bring on board, like that's quite an accomplishment. I mean, you obviously had systems in place before you had ServiceNow. What were some of the measures that you used for success as you went live with that initial MVP?
Not having those other platforms. That was the measure of primary success. But it was also, the main thing was being able to provide our customers with a portal. We didn't have a portal. The customers, everything was done by email. It was sloppy, right? And whilst we were, we're about 450 people strong then, and we'd only just formed the organization. But our leader JP had fast visions, right, and milestones that he was looking for the organization to reach, and quickly to do so. So we had the benefit of investment as well to launch that. So that's always a benefit. But yeah, the immediate benefit was less swivel sharing, the less admin burden. You got to have happy people. If you have happy people working for you, you've got happy customers because they actually want to do the work. And to do that, you've got to have good tools, right? So, yeah, that was the immediate, I guess, return was, being able to bring on those 50 customers, get them out of their existing platforms, having proper ITIL defined processes that were semi-automated, but being able to measure the service. Some of the not all ticketing systems are created equal, and so us being able to accurately measure against service levels and be able to validate or to provide attestation to our customers that yes, we are actually achieving what we said we did on what it says in our contract, we are actually delivering to you. That was the most important thing, the benefit that came with.
Yeah. One of the things in speaking with sort of like in a managed service provider space, there, and we think about some of the stuff that you just shared then, which is clearly around improving employee experience as well as improving customer experience. I mean, that was one of the big things in our customer experience research this year, is that I think oftentimes sometimes we can focus too much on the customer, not in a bad way, but neglect the fact that the people behind it are the ones that are going to deliver that great customer experience, and we need to make sure that both of their experiences are really good. And I think some of the points that you spoke on there were fantastic. The other lens on this is in this space, especially ServiceNow as a differentiator and a way to sort of drive increased revenue or onboard more customers is probably another lens on that. And I mean, I'd love to sort of understand, it probably goes back to that sort of ecosystem discussion that we were having before, but what's that lens on it from you, from like a revenue growth and expansion within CyberCX? How have we supported you in that front?
I think from a revenue perspective, it's I guess it's hard to quantify the revenue perspective from a ServiceNow lens, because we are driving those services. I guess if we were in non-managed services world, there is an ability to be able to, I guess, have those from a revenue standpoint, to be able to increase that value. We're using it a little bit differently, but that doesn't mean that it's not a revenue benefit, right? So the revenue benefit is actually the margin, the profits you're making off that revenue. And so, the ServiceNow environment's actually been able to allow us to templatize our service streams as well. So if we are delivering a SIEM service, it is packaged, it's defined. It comes with these set of variables, it comes with these standard set of service levels. So to deploy a customer into the environment is a matter of, it's an integration now, it's automated, we don't even touch it. To enable a customer for the portal, it is a matter of provide us with your username, provide us with your email addresses, and the service delivery manager will go and create their accounts. The inherent revenue renewer, though, is us being able to be sticky. And our most recent venture with Service Bridge and lifting up the TPSM is definitely the game changer. And we hadn't even gone live, and we were booked out with some customers wanting to onboard through to the end of the calendar year. And so I was expecting to hit hard, but it just exploded, right? So now we're trying to keep up with that, and also putting additional resources in to be able to speed up that time frame. So we've got a bit of a customer pipeline to get through. But from a revenue generation perspective, I guess it's also what we can visualize to our customers as well. So the portal's great in being able to do that. We initially started with CSM Pro, so allowing customers to self-serve, for them to be able to browse our service catalog. Customers, it's doing the less work that our service delivery teams, that our analysts and our engineering teams need to do to affect an outcome for a customer by utilizing the platform. That is actually a benefit for us from a revenue yield and a margin perspective. So yeah, from a ServiceNow perspective, it is our laser focus is on automation, and that will drive the revenue. But allowing customers to have an immersive experience, whether that be through Service Bridge and catalog publishing, or whether that be via our portal, allowing them to have a rich environment in which to utilize is key. To mention though, our employees, you're right. We do spend a lot of time on customer outcomes, customer sentiment, but the biggest driver is a happy employee. So you've got to give them something good that they want to work with, especially Gen Zs.
So you mentioned Service Bridge, and obviously you and I spent quite a bit of time
We
personally on
did.
that. Eh, it's been in there for a little while now. What's been the impact?
So we went from 90 to 120-day deployments to we're hitting 40 days at the moment. We want to get 30. And so we've just done 3 deployments now, and we've got 3 actively running at the moment as well. So that is the impact.
90 to 120 down to 20 to 30.
Yeah, 30 to 40. So
30
30 to 40 days. Yeah. So the speed to value is just massive.
Yeah.
The package-based approach as well, that you and I discussed at length over many months, and in bringing our internal teams onto that, it was key, right? But the ease in which a customer can deploy it, right? Go to the App Store, click install, right? Match some fields together. We're done. You're on. That is such a big benefit. And we've already got account managers asking, how can we make this happen faster? When can we want our customer on now? So it's a good problem to have. So the long hours and of building business cases behind it has definitely started to prove its dividends on that.
Fantastic. Well, look, I'm conscious we're almost at time, but before we close off, what are your future plans, and what would you leave the audience with as tips from a ServiceNow perspective?
So future plans. We are, as I mentioned, during my presentation at World Forum, our sights are now set exactly on our employee experience. We will continue and will always continue to be a customer experience organization. It's part of our logo there sitting on my screen here. CX being part of that. But we definitely recognizing that we need to not pivot, but focus a little bit more attention on the employees. We are going through the process of defining, operational workspace and being able to have a platform that's more collaborative. It works in way, like I said, I made a joke about the Gen Zs, but they just have a different way in which they want to work, and they want the cool tools, right? They want the social media experience in how they work, and so employee workspace operational workspace will help us drive that. The other focus is naturally going to be AI. That is how you do more with the same. We are about to embark on the Now Assist journey. We're building up some sample use cases where we can see that we can automate processes. There are some new products that we're launching to market as well, which will have AI at the core. And so we want that. Yeah, that will be where we focus on over the next 12 to 18 months. But not there is work to do to get there. Right. Yeah. So AI is only as good as you feed it. If you feed it rubbish, it's going to spit out rubbish. So it's really important that you've got your environment tuned, calibrated, and with good information for it to learn from. Otherwise, it can work to a detriment too.
Well, look, hey, it's been awesome having this discussion today. I mean, there's a number of takeaways, right? I mean, the 90 to 120 down to 30 to 40 days is a tremendous result. I think obviously consolidating so many of those systems that you had in place to reduce swivel chair and to focus customer experience through delivering great employee experiences is a takeaway that I think I want everybody in the room to be thinking about, and is kind of at the heart of what ServiceNow has always been about, right? Like making the world work better for people has always been the focus, right? And I think that comes through in the discussion that you and I have had today. But I mean, CyberCX has got a amazing portfolio of things across the cyber security space, and thank you for trusting us to be the platform that manages how you deliver those services out to so many of your customers. It's we love the partnership and are excited for what's to come in the future.
Yeah, no, thank you. It's been an incredible journey, and we're looking forward to I guess the next horizon as we start to embark on what that looks like. And yeah, I also have to say thank you for your partnership in yourself, James, the wider ServiceNow team. When we need you, you've been there, and so it's business is based on relationships, and it always it's going to be as strong as that relationship is maintained. So it's been great, and thank you for having me today, and to all those out there on the webinar. I'm glad hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you, mate.
No worries.
Our final session. Thank you so much to all of our speakers for giving us really insightful talks, and we hope that you learned a lot during our 3-day webinar throughout the CRM AI Summit. Transform customer experiences in the AI era. We truly hope that you enjoyed all of our webinars and that you learned a lot with us, with all of our esteemed speakers. And before we close, just a quick reminder, the recording of today's session will be available soon, and you will be having an email sent to you from our team. If you have any further questions or need additional information, don't hesitate to reach out to us using the details displayed on your screen. Once again, this has been Ella Gomez, and on behalf of the team, we thank you for being with us today, and of course, being with us throughout the 3-day webinar. We look forward to welcoming you back in our upcoming webinars. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a great day. Okay, so for all of you who stayed, this is an exciting part of our program. For those of you who are with me throughout day 1 and day 2, you know the drill. Do scan the QR code located on the lower left of your screen, and we will be having a raffle draw. I will be giving you just 2 minutes to answer, so timer starts now. Once again, please scan the QR code located on the lower left of your screen. And if you are done, do say done here on the chat box so I know who's already submitted. Once again, you have to submit in order to qualify for our raffle draw. And I'm so excited to tell you the prizes. We will be having 3 winners. 2 winners will be having a 50 USD grab voucher, and 1 lucky winner will be going home today with AirPods. So who wants to win? Who wants to win? Let me see those done. Let me see if you are already done with our survey. Okay, I see those done. Let's keep those coming so I know who's already done with our survey. Okay, I see a lot of you guys now saying done. I'm so excited to be drawing our names because once again, 2 lucky winners will be getting 50 USD grab vouchers, and 1 lucky winner will be going home today with an AirPod. So who will it be? Last 50 seconds, you guys. Last 50 seconds. Okay, I see a lot of people being excited. Capital letters done. Let's see who our lucky winners will be for today's draw. Okay, lucky draw will be going home today with 50 USD grab vouchers. 2 winners for that, by the way. And once again, 1 lucky winner for an AirPod. Last 30 seconds, you guys. Once again, you have to be here until the end of the program. So if I do call your name, please make your presence known. Say here, say present, or just drop by and say hi. And I will be calling out your name shortly. I'm so excited. Last 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and done. We are closing our raffle draw. But before that, once again, I'd like to reiterate that a recording of today's webinar will be sent to your emails. So if you want to go back and just really scan through all of the insights that our esteemed speakers have been giving us, all their valuable insights, do check your emails for a recording of today's session. I hope you guys enjoyed the session as much as we did. So let's see Let's look at the people who said done. Do keep your done going here in our chat box, okay? Let's see. And in just a few moments, I will be saying the lucky winners of our raffle draw. So, are you guys ready? For the first winner, our Grab voucher, 50 USD Grab voucher winner is... Who is our lucky winner? We have Erica Balobo from Maynilad. Erica, are you with us today? Hi, Erica. Is Erica with us today? Yes, Erica is here. Congratulations to you. Next, our next winner worth 50 USD Grab voucher is Previn from Flexi Rome. Previn, congratulations to you. You have 50 USD Grab vouchers. Now, for our main raffle, who will be going home today with a brand new AirPods? We have Isaiah Rain Kamitok from Philippine Bank of Communications. Isaiah, are you here, Isaiah? Do say hi so we know. Okay, I see Isaiah saying here, congratulations to you. Congratulations to all of our winners of our lucky raffle draw. And of course, congratulations to everyone who is with us today, who really learned throughout our webinar. Once again, my name is Ella Gomez, and I hope that you all enjoyed today's webinar and throughout the 3-day webinar with us. Congratulations, everyone, and see you once again. Goodbye.
Hey, Jim. I was wondering.
Let me guess. Customer service is your next stop on your What's New with ServiceNow mission.
Whoa, you customer service folks really can read people's minds.
Before ServiceNow, our customers couldn't solve issues on their own. Had to call us every time. Calls piling up while my team's tied up on open cases, chats pending, case notes to write, emails to respond to.
Okay, your to-do list is like stressing me out.
Just relax. Breathe.
Okay.
Breathe. That was then. This is ServiceNow. Yeah, it enables us to unify our data with our workflows and brings it all together with AI all on a single platform. Check this out. AI agents use natural people speak to help customers take action on their own. Not cutesy voice chatbots that waste your time with generic help articles. We're talking out-of-the-box AI agents that solve cases autonomously.
Okay. What if your people need to step in?
Oh, you mean the old data chase across 6 different systems and who knows how many departments?
Yeah.
Well, ServiceNow gives my team a single, unified workspace. Everything needed to work with customers in one view. AI agents handle the time-sucking tasks. My team can now focus on person-to-person customer relationships. So when the sales team closes a deal, my team makes sure it stays closed.
And those customer relationships drive repeat business.
Exactly. Boom! Resolution in no time, without any swivel chair gymnastics.
Please don't bring up swivel chairing. I've broken like 8 swivel chairs.
Let's not
here.
go there.
They get mad. Okay, that's really slick, but what if your use case isn't out of the box?
Funny you should ask. I built my own custom AI agents with ServiceNow's no-code AI Agent Studio, like this one. It proactively watches for customers who may experience issues before and after purchase. Researching previous cases, my AI agent offers alternatives if lookalike customers have similar issues. They reduce all that sell, close, churn, ping-ponging.
Oh, I gotta work on my backhand for the company-wide ping pong tournament.
Focus?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you got custom agents, you've got out-of-the-box agents and third-party agents, and coordinating them all is like herding cats?
No, but watch this. AI agents work together as teams across departments. Guided by the AI agent orchestrator, they can stay in sync, escalate if needed, and achieve results no single agent could on their own. Case volumes are down and our CSAT is up because the team's focused on people, not repetitive tasks.
Cool. CSAT. Wait, we have a satellite too?
Sure. CSAT orbits happy customers. Yeah, but seriously, we're getting ahead of our customer needs. We don't wait to be helpful, we plan to be. Customer service meets customer relationship management. Now that's what I call CRM built for the AI era.
Oh, I cannot wait to tell my mom that we have a satellite. Oh, yeah. Do you know where my office is? Okay, that's fine.